Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us right here in the middle of the historical park of Angkor Wat. We are right in front of the Elephant Terrace and the Terrace of the Elephant King, the former royal palace, and this is the royal square right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to walk around and I'm going to show you the Elephant Terrace and show you the royal palace, and then I'll show you the statue of the Leper King, and I'll try to explain a little bit of the story behind all of that. But first, let's look at this area and we'll enjoy this today. Here we are right in the middle of this royal square. This used to be a lot of the ceremonies and stuff. Now, straight over there, you'll see some sandstone carvings. That is the Terrace of the Leper King. Over here, right in front, is the Terrace of the Elephants. We'll see some three-headed elephants and some Garuda statues. And then right behind is the royal palace. And there's a temple that was built by one of Jayavarman VII's ministers. And then all around it, this is a fantastic area. So you kind of go down these roads here. This takes you to like Terrace and a few other temples. And then you go this way to some temples and you have the city gates all around here. But check out this. You have all of these little prasads that are just scattered all around here. And they're all made out of the laterite stones and sandstone. And then there's a few little halls. And this is how people get around here. They go by tuk-tuk, or they go by motorcycle, and then there's a small little tuk-tuk also. Now over here is a group of 5 temples that are actually being renovated right now by a Korean group, and they've been working on restoring those 5 temples for quite a while. Just to give you an idea of scale, from that end of the Elephant Terrace all the way across here is 500 meters over to the Leper Terrace. And they would have the elephant processions here. There's some carvings in here of just tons and tons of Garudas. And there's also some elephants that are carved in, and we'll see that. And it had 5 little outcroppings here. This was the main one right in the middle. This is where they did the elephant processions and everything else. Now right here that you see, they're doing some restoration, so you can't film in there. And then over here, they're also doing some restoration. So it's a big job. So 500 meters, and the wall is I don't know, 12 meters high or so, with all these stones that they brought in here. Just to give you an idea, this is a Garuda right here, and these are carved the whole length. Then you have some of the Naga and some of the other little figures, and you can see the Garuda is holding like a Naga in his hand. The detail work is fantastic, and it just goes the whole length of this wall. The only break that you have is where they've carved the elephants in, and there's a few of them way over there. You can't really see, that sun's kind of in a bad spot, but just to give you an idea, you can see right down here there's just Garuda and Garuda and Garuda. Okay, let's go up onto the top and then we'll walk back to the royal palace. And you climb up this first little tier in the middle. You're greeted with these lions on both sides of the walkway, and then they have the balustrades over here that are the Naga with the long tails, and up there's some more of them. And then you have more of these figures carved into all of this. You can see it's all sandstone, and they just chiseled this just like that. And the original stairs are covered up, but they have the wood ones outside now. But you can see the original back behind there. So these are amazing. And they're carved to be looking like they're holding this top part up right here that they also carved. And then you can see over here, here's another figure holding like a sword or something. And then this would have been a Naga here. And then we'll go up. Each little level here has lions on the 2 sides of the stairwell. And this is the walkway here. So you see the laterite stones and the sandstones that they put in here. This is a new lion that they've carved and put out here. The old one was probably in terrible shape. And then up here there would have been some more, but there's no figures at all. So this stone here cracked in half, but this was originally one piece of stone. So this is 12th century right there. And it's hard to say how many millions of feet have crossed that little threshold there. And up top here, these are just laterite stones. And then they would have had some figures right here. Now this is like a cross, the top of this. And then you can see all across here, there's smaller little places there where people could have stood, or the elephants could have rode up. And then this is looking out into that area. Yeah, this is a fantastic area. So if you're a little temple fatigued, come over here and walk around this a little bit. It's still stones like all the temples, but it's a nice little break. And then this is where we're gonna go. We're gonna go through this little gate, and that will be the royal palace. But first, I wanna see if we can get down here and see if I can see one of the carvings of the elephants. This over here is that smaller little platform. You can see some more of the Naga. There's just so much to see here. So this is why it got its name. You see these carvings of these elephants, and then they have the Malutes, the riders, even carved up on the top right there. And you can see they have like the trees and all of that. How fantastic is this? And it just goes right across the way here. This is kind of swampy right here. We've been getting a lot of rain, so it kind of deters people from crawling out here. But how amazing is this? You can see right here, there's his trunk up to the head, and up there is the rider. And right here on each side are the Erewhons. They're the three-headed elephants. So you can see the tusks and the trunks. And what's cool is look at the detail they put right here. So it's eating the lilies. So it has all the little flowers, and that's what the elephant is eating. And then there's more carvings back behind, and it's on each of the sides of the stairwell. You can see like its eyes. How fantastic is that? Same deal over here. And there's the little thing that it's around its neck. Yeah, that is cool. The tusks are broken off, but it's still amazing. Okay, so now let's go back into the royal palace. So this would have been filled with water right here, and we have the gates. So there'd have been a pool of water on this side and a pool of water on that side. And then back, once we go through this gate, we'll see the rest of the complex. You can see more and more of the Naga. You have a tree growing right there in the middle. And over there is just the huge stones with that tall wall. That wall is like 15 meters high. You can see some of the rubble around. So that entrance over there is completely disintegrated. Now there's just kind of a boggy land down in there. Let's go through here and we'll see the inner courtyard. This is pretty cool also. I really like the way they put this like flat stone, like that lintel right there. From here it's quite wide, but it's just kind of like a hatchet blade sitting perched up there on top of that. And then you can see the carvings in the lintel. And then the same all around the door jamb. And there would have been stuff all around here. And these stairs are like sandstone. You can see how worn they are over there. Here, these look like they've been replaced, and they got these wooden ones. And then inside, hopefully you'll be able to see this. It's a little dark in here. You have that like serpent god right there, curved around. And that's like the Roku or something right there in the middle. They are Hindu deities. I'm not exactly sure the names of all of them. Yeah, this has been redone pretty recently. It's in really, really nice shape. All the blocks are perfect in here. And then over here, oh, this is cool. I hope you'll be able to see that. So they have all the writing here, the inscriptions. So if you can read ancient Khmer, this will tell you a little story. They even have like a bird carved there. Same over here, there's a figure carved with a bunch of ancient Khmer writing up there. You have another lintel. All right, so here we are, we're in this courtyard now. Now this would have been the courtyard for the royal palace. And then there's more buildings over there. This is like a stairway to nowhere. Okay, so whenever you would have came back in here, all the royal palace buildings would have been fantastic. I mean, they would have been the best of the best, but they were all made of wood. So any wood in the jungle is going to be gone, you know, in 30 years or so. It does not last. But the walls and the temples and everything, they were made out of stone, so that's all you see. So most of the history, you know, is from the inscriptions at all of these temples. Everything else was lost to time. You can see all the brick and stuff like that out here. Now, this royal palace was first built by the Khmer king Suryavarman I, and that was in the 11th century. But this temple that's back here was built in the 10th century. So the royal palace was used continuously from about the 11th century up to the 16th century. The temple here that we're coming up to, this was built probably by one of Yasovarman I's ministers, and they considered this maybe his residence. And the temple is quite nice. Now in the Khmer, kind of one of the problems they had were all their bureaucrats gained so much power. And also the Hindu priests, they were like really, really influential. And then they had some other internal issues where they couldn't maintain things here in Angkor. The water system failed them, plus continuous wars, and then the collapse of the Khmer Empire. But all their buildings that they left are still a testament to their ingenuity out here in the jungle. Those birds are so loud. You can see over there is like a raised platform and more of the wall. This right here is that 10th century temple. You can see it's a combination. They got bricks in there, they have the laterite stones and the sandstone. They have the lions on each little tier. And it would have been a mountain temple right here in the royal residence. And it would have been once it was the royal palace, it would have been only the king and his family that would have went up there to that. Everything else, local people would have been forbidden to come back here in this area. But now there's just some debris strung about from all the old bricks and stuff like that. And then there's some ponds over here. We'll take a look at this pond and we're going to walk over to the Terrace of the Leper King. And this is the northeast pool. It's right near that humongous one that's back over there. And you can't see, the water level is pretty high. So down in here, that step below, that's where they'd have it all carved, I believe. That's what I was reading about anyway. You could see the north entrance into this courtyard. Just absolutely fantastic. So this closes up at 5:30. So a lot of people come over here in the evening. You can see outside of the gate, there's a bunch more buildings and stuff like that out here. And then this is that north gate. And they're doing some restoration over here. It's all covered up. Okay, so let's walk over to the Terrace of the Leper King. This is the whole, or the best part of this whole area. You can see all the stones that they're doing restoration with. And then over there's parking and everything for the vendors. And then up here is the Terrace of the Leper King. And then over here is also a cool one to see. So we'll look at this right quick and then we'll walk around and see all the carvings. So this right up here, you can't get to it, it's inaccessible. There's a humongous lotus right there, and it's on this little hill. And then we have They look like birds across there. You can see some of the carvings. The top is gone, but you can see the bottoms here. And then a couple more of these three-headed elephants, the Erewhons. They are just absolutely fantastic. And then over here, that is the Leper King statue. That's our next stop. Just to give you an idea of the carvings. Those look like monkeys over there. Yeah, this is really nice. And the same here, you see the lilies right there underneath that one, and then the same where the elephants are eating the lilies. They're just pulling them up. And then some more figures over here. And check out that. Has the Khmer headdress on it. Yeah, that is really cool. Okay, we're gonna go into this little maze over here. This right here is one of the coolest things I've seen. This is, every one of these is a little carving. Now I was reading that this is a continuous story. It's not just individual characters, it's a continuous story. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I was reading. Now, it was kind of interesting when they found this, they excavated around and they found this outer wall, and then to their surprise, right behind it is another exact wall like this. And it was filled in between with rubble, those laterite stones. There was debris in there. So they're speculating on whether or not the first wall collapsed, so they built another wall, or if they wanted to make this terrace bigger, they just built a wall in front of it, and then they filled in between. You can see here, there's like some fish and a turtle, and then you have him holding like a fan, and then some of the stones have been restored, just put in here, and there's no carvings on them. You can see there's some more of the fish. But what I was talking about, how it's a second wall, here is the outer wall, and what they've done is they've come in and they put a walkway, so you can go between. And you can see the original wall here. So this, if you could imagine, was just filled with debris, and they dug it out of here, and they found a second wall back behind. And this wall is in a lot worse shape. You can see the laterite stones have been restored up here. But check this out. You can see here, here's the Malut. He's got his little riding crop, and that's an elephant right there. And another elephant is right behind. And this looks like an alligator right over here. You see it's got a fish in his mouth. So that is some of the detail work that you see. And then you have like the Naga right here and all these figures. So you can just see the detail work. You can see the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the elongated ears. And this is 12th century. And here it is for you to be able to walk and look at this. It is just amazing. I mean, this is different than what you'll see here, like the temples and stuff like that. And I would definitely recommend coming over here and spending some time and looking at this. Now what you see is, you see a lot of the Cambodians, they come over here to walk through here, and they'll look at all these figures because it means more to them, especially if this is their religion. But you can see they carved that headdress right there, and then the little fan. And this is the inner wall. So this would have been all just caved in. And you can see where some of the carvings are missing. I mean, just look at this. All through here. And this would have been below grade. This would have been, like, even the surroundings here would have been up above this. They would have had to dig down. And this just curves all around, and they have this nice wooden walkway to walk on. And you can see what the Cambodians have done is they come here and they burn incense, and it's going right up here across these Naga, and then this is like an important figure right here for them. Yeah, just kind of really amazing here. This makes me want to go see the terracotta warriors in China, to see all of them standing, the life-size statues, all of them unique. And I was trying to find out exactly how many different carved figures there are, and I can't find that information. And I asked a couple of the tour guides that are walking around also, and they weren't aware of how many exact carvings there are here. You can see here, this one is in really bad shape, this wall. So if you know that, you could tell me in a comment down below also. Yeah, just absolutely amazing. And it just, like I said, this is a little maze that just goes all around. And it's pretty nice because this wooden walkway does make it easy to come over here and see all of this. And this part of the terrace is in really bad shape also. But this is the inner part. The outer part is in better condition than this. And you can see more here. Looks like they've replaced a couple faces. And some more of the Naga, just unbelievable. Okay, and you can see it comes over here, and then you have some stairs to go out. And we'll go up here and we'll look at our last thing. So here we are. There's a little figure here, and this is how it got its name right here. This is a unique figure. This is the Leper King. And the reason it's unique is, for one, is it's naked. And then you can also see right here how he's missing the fingers, and he's missing his ear and his toes. So it goes into having leprosy. And one of the Khmer kings, the legend is that he had leprosy. It was Yasovarman I, I believe, or one of them. And so this might be representing him that had it. There's been a lot of stories behind this statue. And they believe also maybe this might have been where they did like funerals up here on the top. So they might have scattered the royal ashes whenever one of them died up here on this terrace. Now, where we walked around, we were inside of here, and then it has the outer wall also. And so we have another little statue. Now, this Leper King statue right here is a replica. The original is in a museum in Phnom Penh. Yeah, this is a nice look about how wide that is, as you can see right there. And then the outer wall is exactly the same. Yeah, that's the inner, and then all of this is the outer wall. And as you can see, there's a whole lot more of these carvings that are remaining here on the outer wall. So it would have been newer, and it might not have collapsed like what they think of having that first wall is doing. That's going to finish up our video over here at the Terrace of the Leper King, Terrace of the Elephant, and the former royal palace. This is a great area. This is unbelievable. This to me is just surreal because you got all these ruins kind of around this whole little open grassy area. You got those temples across the way, you got all these carvings, and then plus you have the royal palace with the like the huge water features that they made here. This is unbelievable. This is as good as going to one of the temples. This has a lot to see here, and this, I would say, is definitely a must stop while you're here in Angkor. Stop here, walk around, spend an hour or so. You know, there is a little bit of restoration going on, but you can look around that. It'll be fine. So this was definitely enjoyable for me. I liked this, and if you liked it, smash the like button and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. If you know a little bit more about this area, tell me that also. And if I misspoke, I'm sorry. I can't pronounce the Khmer words. They're terrible for me. I can't speak Thai. I can barely speak English, huh? So anyway, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. If you know any more, let me know also. And subscribe if you're new here. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. But anyway, from over here in Angkor Wat, remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.